On set.
All right, here we go, folks. Interviewing again with Cheryl Obermiller from Obermiller Construction in the great state of Missouri. We're talking about the top 10 reasons having a great bookkeeper could open you up to embezzlement. Yeah, scary, but it's scary because it's so prevalent. So Cheryl, we're going to go to reason number 5 here, but I just want to be clear, my friends, just because you don't own a business doesn't mean this is not applicable to you. I assure you that your sphere of influence has business owners in there, and as such, you could really be doing a wonderful help to your friends, your colleagues, whatever. You know, if you're in sales with a small business as your customer base, if you can help people avoid fraud and the nightmare Cheryl had to go through, I guarantee you're gonna have a customer or a friend for life. So Cheryl, welcome back to part 5. Take it away, man.
All right. And just if I can say on your sphere of influence, if you work for a company that you know doesn't have these controls,
absolutely,
you probably make your house payment every month because that company can pay its bills. Talk to your business owner about it. You have a friend or a family member who owns a business. Ask them. Probably none of them have ever thought about financial fraud. I used to joke that if I wound up in a class and got in the wrong room and found out that the speaker was going to speak on financial fraud, I would have pulled out my phone and played on Facebook because I had the best accountant in the world and it was going to be boring. I didn't need to know any of that stuff. So obviously I did. So, you know, if you have any kind of relationship with the business community, talk to them about fraud. They don't know. We educate people about gun safety. We educate our girls in self-defense. You know, I always say I was violently financially assaulted. I was nearly put under by this. So sure, anybody you care about that's in business or the business you work for, talk to them about fraud. So
100%.
Now, we have talked about this before. We've touched on it in several different things. So I don't want people to think, I'll tune it out because it's important. We're going to talk about some more stuff. Get your own mail. Get your own mail.
But this is part 2 of that because there's a different take on this, my friends. Before you say, I already talked about that. No, it's a different aspect of it. So don't hang up yet because listen to this.
Well, there are a couple of reasons why people either think, well, what could somebody do with the mail? Because they've never really looked at it. And they've never really taken a step back and thought about this. Your mail can travel from Timbuktu to the front door of your business more safely than it can come from your mailbox to your accountant's desk. Well, why is that? Because if the mailman is stealing your checks out of the mail, you'll notice your accountant will say, these people aren't paying us.
Right.
Or, hey, we got a weird credit card bill in the mail. I don't show that we have an account for this credit card. Or, you know, an honest accountant will see it. You will see those things. But so if the mailman is pilfering your mail, you should catch it. But when your accountant is the one picking up the mail, stop and think about what they can do. They can steal checks or payments that come in and then delete those invoices or mark them paid so you don't think anything's missing. What can people do with a check? My gosh, it's made out to Obermiller Construction. People can take white out and put over Obermiller Construction and write in Mickey Mouse, and then you put it in your account and it will go through an ATM. So you can't be too careful with that. Your accountant can pretend that bills came in the mail, that really she's set up her own system and she's submitting invoices for consulting or lawn service or some other service that you're not getting. And she just sticks them right in with the other accounts payable. And you don't know that they didn't come in the mail, that she printed them off. They used to tell you that a good way to look for fraud was if you had an invoice that was flat. It obviously had never been folded because normally we get stuff in the mail, it's tri-folded. And that used to be a good indicator, but now so many of us get our things emailed to us. And so the only copy that we have is one that was put out on a printer. So you have to watch all of that stuff. You get credit card applications. We've talked about the convenience checks before. You get your credit card statement. Here's the face page. Here's your list of charges and payments. There's some new rules about how much they're going to raise your interest if you don't pay. And the last page is what? 2 or 3 convenience checks. And those can simply be signed, deposited for cash, used to pay for things. If you're not monitoring the credit card accounts, you'll never catch that. And your accountant can get them right out of the mail.
Now, that's all good and well, but for you as a business owner to actually get the mail, that sounds good if you know it comes at 1:30 every day. But sometimes the mail changes with a new route or something like that, and that means you're now got to look out the window, and that gets a little bit overwhelming.
And we're struggling with that here. For years, the mail came between, I think, 1 and 1:30. And we always knew, and I can see the mailbox from my window. And so I got the mail. Nobody touched the mail. Now we've gone through this. I don't know what's going on with our post office. They're great people, but I keep having changed mail carriers. Yeah. The mail comes anywhere from 8 o'clock in the morning to 5:30 at night. We have several days, just recently, we've said, how come no mail came today? And we leave and we come in the next morning. It's been sitting in the mailbox overnight because we don't know when somebody brought it. Yeah. I'm either going to have to get a locking mailbox or go to a post office box or something, because I write about this. I know what happened. I lost hundreds of thousands of dollars because things were stolen out of the mail, and the evidence that would have shown me what was happening was in the mail. So I'm extremely fussy about my mail, and I feel like I've completely lost control of it because of a delivery issue. So what I can tell you is it won't always be clean and easy, but never underestimate the importance of getting your own mail. Even if it takes a little effort, you have to make a change with something. You got to take care of it.
It seems to me like having a PO box would solve most of this, because it says, and you're the only person that has a key. I know you don't want to have to, but then exactly, I'm going to go to get the mail once a day, and it's either there or it's not, but it won't be stolen other than by the post office employees, but nothing you can do about that. And part 2, it won't be stolen by anybody internal. And then part 3, it won't be sitting out overnight for scoundrels to get either. I just think that makes you can get them from UPS stores too now. I don't know if you knew that, but
yeah, we can do all that. It's just it does add an extra stop, and it's some effort. I think what I may wind up doing is getting a heavy duty locking mailbox for our mail to go in here at the office, because then
something that can gather it. Yeah, absolutely.
But the point is not that my way is the only right way, but the point is whatever you have to do that works for you, get control of your mail. Whatever is realistic for you.
That they drop it in, and you can only have access to it via a key. So that way you know for a fact, no one can steal it on going up the street, and then that I will go once a day to check the mail. It's either there or it's not, but I don't have to worry about looking over my shoulder when the mail lady comes, if that makes sense.
Right.
I think the mail gets. Just think about it. Especially nowadays too, because they're not getting that much in the mail. You see what I'm saying? And as such, it just opens up more of opportunity, because now we're just saying, nothing's in the mail. You see what I'm saying? And yet there might well be. In fact, I got a check yesterday. Some guy, as a electronic transfer check, and I almost ripped it up because I said, this looks like a credit card, solicitation.
Right.
That's why I did it. But it's like, you don't know. So, man,
keep in mind, that my embezzlement was caught because of unpaid taxes.
Right.
And what was the IRS doing? They had been sending notices in my mail for months, and they had been stolen out of the mail. So I know everybody thinks it's like the lowest status, the most menial time wasting. For goodness sakes, just somebody get the mail. You're the only person that should touch it. And so get over that. The mail is your job. So figure out how to manage it. Look at who gets the mail now. Figure out how you could do that more safely, and set up a system to do it so that you get the mail and you're the person that has to go through it and distribute it to other people. If something really critical comes in and you don't want to let go of it, you can make a photocopy before you release it to accounting. If it's something you think is you want to be able to follow up on it, just take control of it. Get your mail. I always tell people, get your mail for a week, look at every piece, think like a thief, what could somebody do to me with this piece of mail?
Let's go and share again the discount. So remember, Cheryl's got a book called FraudPoints. I thought I had it up on Amazon. Did I close it out? Oh, there it is. So here's her FraudPoints book, and you can get it for free on Kindle Unlimited, which I think is wonderful. But this is a big enough book, you'd want to get the hard copy. And so the hardcover on Amazon is $27.95. I think it is free shipping. But you can go to Cheryl's website, special, which I'll put notes in the show notes. I'll put a link in the show notes how to do this. And you click log in, and it's just Heritage Wealth, all one word, all lowercase. And you can get a discounted copy with free shipping, I meant to say, special limited time offer. So go to these websites. If you want to go on Amazon, it's fine. You do whatever you want. But in this case, you can get it discounted and it's still free shipping. And this is the Small Business Owner's Guide to Outwitting Embezzlers, Thieves, and Scallywags. And I got to tell you again, just to reiterate, if this could be one of those good things you get to a client who is running a business. My wife, Cheryl, let me share with you, and I'll put links in the show notes real quick. My wife she works in an accounting firm, and they had to do not a Secret Santa thing, but I forgot what they called it, but it's similar like a Secret Santa. And she's like, what the heck do I buy? And look, I don't know, what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, I know a lot of people in banking and financial will go around to CPA firms, for instance, and bring donuts during tax season. Well, that's good. That doesn't jump out at you, though, man. If I'm a CPA and some guy just draws donuts, I don't care who that comes. Look, I used to do this. Or they'll bring flowers, and I, as a banker, that's not perennial. That's an annual from flowering perspective. That thing it comes and goes. You know what doesn't come and go? Right. That book that says FraudPoints, ways to avoid being embezzled from. Yeah, it might cost a little bit, but a freaking order of flowers costs you money too, and that sucker is gone in 30 days. So anyway, all right. So appreciate that. We'll be back for part 6. Stay tuned, folks. The links will be in the show notes. And again, the Cheryl Obermiller at Obermiller Construction. And if you want a personal consultation of some sort, or just have a dialogue, say, Cheryl, I'm worried. Any ideas? And look, don't tell me. You just talk to Cheryl directly, right, Cheryl? You're okay with that.
I'm totally okay with that. I've got social media links up on my page. You can.
I'd love to connect with people. On LinkedIn.
I'm on LinkedIn and I'm on Twitter. I don't Twitter very much, but I'm going to have to start doing that.
Twitter's for scoundrels, embezzlements, and scallywags. Thanks, Cheryl. Hold on, Jessica.
Have a good one.